I think the game panned out the way we expected. The slight difference was that we never anticipated that we'd play 3 centre-backs and have a 5 across with the 2 wing-backs. But when we figured that out, we managed to maneuver our structure a little bit because we saw that we've got 5-3-2 and we had more space in the half spaces and in the wide channels. But the game was very tight first half, and we did tell the players that they must just keep moving the ball and pass as much as they can because we know it can have an effect on the legs. We know we've been traveling a lot as well. We are coming from far. And we knew at a certain point the body will give in. And second half, we started a little bit shaky. But when we recollected ourselves, started to use our half spaces better, with Lebu and Pizzo, with Mngqithi playing more as a 10, we started to gain some inroads into your half. And I must say Gift played a significant role in making sure that we always have depth all the time and pinning the centre-backs in the right areas where we wanted them, which gave a little bit of a chance and freedom to Peter, freedom to Mngqithi, and Mngqithi started to bloom and Lebu started to bloom. But the truth of the matter is it was not a game that you could easily suggest we could win 3-0. It was very close. Anything could have happened. But maybe when the dice rolled our direction after the penalty, we knew Pirates would be disparate and come with a lot of numbers into our half, and we had good breaks, but unfortunately we did not use all of them the right way. But credit must be given to the boys. They fought back. People were beginning to doubt their capacity, and we've always known we've got a very good team that is capable of playing any match at any given time. But the unfortunate part is that this team has played from the game of Al Hilal beginning of April. We played 9 games in 29 days, and that was very difficult for any team. So legs were beginning to go, but we were fortunate for this one. We got an extra day to prepare and maybe give a little bit more recovery to the players, and that's why the team looked sharper and more willing. But it also goes down to the traveling that Pirates had to go through because it was never going to be easy for them as well. So that is why second half you started to see that their legs were going a little bit, and fortunately by that time we managed to get our goals.
Good evening, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Can we talk about your second goal? And I mean, I'm sure as the technical team, you look at it and you go back to your approach, and I've seen you trying to make those pressing traps work earlier, but I'm sure you look back and the execution as a perfect plan that works today.
Yeah, man, for whatever reason, Gift has given us that edge. If you remember, even in the game we played at Loftus, I'm not sure which one now, where he stole the ball and passed to Gaston. We always create these scenarios, and we know the players that are culprits in the PSL that are bound to make maybe that extra touch or the body position is not very good. But more than anything else, we always appreciate the time that we give it to pass the ball, because at times we become hasty after winning the ball in the opposition half. We rush the pass and maybe we play one touch and you lose the possession of the ball. But it was always important that after winning that ball, you give yourself enough time to see what is exactly happening around you. And at the right moment, you play a ball, the one that was played to Peter, then a very good goal was scored. But we create these moments a lot. Times we don't get to punish many teams, but I think this season we've had far too many chances and goals that we have scored as a result of some pressing traps and maybe some pressing triggers as well.
Just the importance of that little break, the break that you had prior to this game, because normally you don't have privilege of this kind of break. And like in the past few games, there were already doubts that Sundowns is starting to lose its grip. Is this a perfect response to those criticism in inverted commas?
No, I just feel sometimes we are very unfair to make judgments without really looking very closely at what is happening. If you look at the number of games that these boys have played in a very short space of time, it was always going to be difficult for them to sustain the high level or the high octane game that we normally play, and the same intensity that we always give. And it was just unfortunate that people jumped into the route of doubting the team, because honestly speaking, we managed under the circumstances. We could have done better. We could have scored the goals. The chances that we got against AmaZulu that we could have buried, but we were operating on a very low fuel, if I may put it like that, because we never really got an extra day to rest so that you can have a match day -2 training session and a match day -1. We never had that. We would have a training session and match day -1, and at times we have to force a break and only come in on match day -1. It's never really easy to expect the players to recharge their engines on match day -1. You are only trying to come back. It's very difficult. Under normal circumstances, if our media, our people were to look at it very closely, they would be saying, why do we have to squash the season so much? Why do we have to finish at the time when we have to finish? Because we could easily stretch it a little bit. You cannot expect teams to play 20, 25 games in less than 3 months. It's very difficult. And don't be surprised next season, not only Sundowns players, Pirates players, Chiefs players, don't be surprised next season when there are players that are really bent out who cannot function, because the bodies are never really given a chance to recover. And before they recover, again, they're expected to come back into the match. And physiologically, if you can check with the doctors and everybody, you'll understand that we are putting a strain on the bodies of these boys. And we must not be surprised next season if some of them can't function, because honestly speaking, it's a little bit tough. Yes, we understand it's COVID, but I think the season is too squashed. We are expected to play 19 games in 2 months. In 8 weeks, we are playing more than half a season. It's never really easy for anyone. But we are trying to maneuver, and we are happy that the boys are recovering and they are coming back. And at times, we are also assisted by the injuries, because when Peter got injured, he could not play the last match. Then when he comes in this match, he comes in as a fresh player, is a new acquisition to the team. So it helps us a little bit when we've got such players. Ricardo Nascimento has not been playing after he had a little bit of an injury. Then he's coming back and he becomes a very important player in the team. But the truth of the matter is there is so much that is expected on these players in a very short space of time in terms of recovery from match to match.
Coach, I'm just going to ask a question on behalf of Karabo Pasha, who signal was a bit weak earlier on. He says, how important is this victory for the technical team and players, seeing that results have been topsy-turvy in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, a win is always a positive result that everybody in the team would always appreciate, and more especially when you are viewed to have lost your feet and maybe you've lost the quality that the team has shown in the early stages of the season. Yet the truth of the matter was just there was too much mileage on those legs, and we needed to recover a little bit, which is what we have done. And we are hopeful now we've got maybe a spurt of another 3-4 matches where we can be able to try and come back stronger and see what happens after that. But the truth of the matter is it's a very good result for not only the technical team and the players, our supporters as well, and also the management of the club, the boss of the club who supports us so much, and the board. So it's always good when we get these positive results that still sends a message which we're still there. We still have something to give. We've got big matches coming for the Champions League and all that. And that confidence is important, even for the players to know, no, not all is lost. So it's a very good result for us.
Coach, it's Mazola here. Just wanted to find out if you've had an opportunity to speak to, some of the players that were in the stands. It sounded like the cheering on that was happening there. I don't know if it was maybe a bit too excited with the result. Their conduct there maybe was a bit unbecoming. And then also, secondly, 8 matches in May. Do you anticipate sort of another struggle to sort of dig deep yet again, given you've just been talking about how hectic the fixture schedule is?
No, it's with 8 matches, it's a little bit better because there are games like this one, which we are going to play on your 4th day. If you have to play on your 4th day, the body's adaptation process has taken place and the team is ready to function again. And we can expect a better run in the forthcoming matches because the team will be slightly fresher than before. And we keep losing players from injuries, but when they come back now, they come in and add value. We did not have Gaston today. We will be coming back probably for the next match because of a slight injury. So it helps now that maybe other players, because of injuries, are out. But the truth of the matter is we do believe 8, in as much as it's bad, but it's better than the 9 that we had, because the 9 that we had was too close, and it also had a cup match inside, which I think created a little bit of a chaos. And if you can check, our results after that cup match have not been very good because we were really forced to dig deeper when we had to go to extra time and penalties. Then from there, we never really came very strong, but we are back now. I think and I said it before the match that I believe today we'll be able to function. And I was sure we are going to give a very good performance. What I could not be sure of was the result as to how was it going to be.
Sorry, Coach, just on the conduct of the players in the stands.
Yes, already I've spoken to them in the change room. I spoke to even outside when I was talking to the commentary team. It's, for me, arrogance is one thing that I never encourage, because when you start making such noise, you are showing disrespect. And I've already spoken to the players and the team to make sure that we always stay humble. It's one thing that I always preach within the team. And in every team talk, we always emphasize on humility because it's very important. At times, some of us are privileged to be working for teams like Sundowns that can afford so much. And at times, we tend to think when you win, it's because you are special. And at times, it's not only because you are special, it's because there is so much support around you from the management, the administration staff, and everybody else. And to always respect the opponent is always a very important thing by my standards. And I've already spoken to the team, and it's something that I'm still going to emphasize because I really believed it was uncalled for.
Evening, colleagues, evening, coach, and congratulations. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on Mngqithi. I think the boy has been doing very well since the bubble and right now, and how well he's adjusted to your playing style. And finally, your thoughts on the CAF Champions League draw. Thank you.
Yeah, man, we are all excited with Pizzo because, and to be honest with you, I still believe he's a better player than what he has shown. He's a little bit of an introvert. He's not really willing to show the quality that he has. He has done very well for us this season, no doubt. He did well even in the bubble, but I strongly believe we can still get far more from him if he can just come out of his shell and dictate the space. He is showing those signs slowly but surely, but I think it has taken a bit of time for people to notice what he's capable of, because he is by far one of the best players. And I always say he's one of the few players that I strongly believe has got a chance to go to Europe and make it even in a bigger team, because technically he's very sound. He's got a very good work ethic, good professional, works very hard every day in training. He gives his best, but his personality is more reserved. If he was slightly arrogant, I want to believe he would be by far one of the best players in the country now, because he's got almost all the attributes of a top player.
CAF Champions League?
With regard to the CAF Champions League, it's a very tough match, which we are very ready for, because we anticipated a game like this. We've played against Ali Wydad in the quarterfinals before, and coincidentally, we played against Ali last season, and we were out in the quarterfinals from Ali. A season before that, we did well against them. So we know what is expected of us, and we are optimistic. We've got a team that can compete and win this match. but it's not going to be an easy one. We are playing against a very good team with a coach that is very experienced, a coach that has been important to all of us because we have learned a lot from him, the most successful coach in the country. But this match will be one of those where it will be very difficult for both teams. And I just hope and pray we will be more ready to take it.
Yeah. No, I'm saying you were talking about, you know, that you guys have been struggling off the break in between and the players may suffer a penalty. What is your thought on the CAF Champions League final? Because it will be played on the 17th. If, let's say, you guys reach it, you know, you beat El Ahly, how will you prepare such thing? Because it means players will have to come back because in June there's a World Cup qualifiers. Just your thought on the calendar on its own, that we have a final in July instead of maybe having it in June.
My thoughts are that the league should have finished in June, and it would have made everything easier for everyone, because I don't know what we are rushing. As for the gap in between, it might still come in handy to give the players a break and recharge their batteries and come back. And we've always done it in the past, where when we've got 30 days, we will always cut it in half and make sure that the second half of it, the team is getting prepared for those matches. And I think we will be fresher at that time. The only pity is that it would have been better if we were going on with our league campaign, and closer to that time, we also have the finals or the semi-finals of the Champions League. I think that would have very positive spin-offs for everyone. But we cannot change anything. If we could not change making the team to play 20 games in 2 months, we can never change anything. So we must just appreciate what we have and continue. If it's injustice to the teams that are playing in the Champions League and the Confederations Cup, then so be it. Because maybe there's nothing we can do. Maybe I'm not looking at the right calendar of the year. Because when I look at us finishing in May, I'm asking what are we going to be doing in June, July, August to prepare for the next season. So I just felt we squeezed the season unnecessarily when we could have stretched with 1 more month, even 2 more months, to be able to allow teams to have proper recuperation and watch better matches. Because when you're watching these matches every 3 days, it's always a strain on the players, and you don't get to see the best of all these teams. And there are teams that play after 10, 15 days, when others are playing after every three days. And for me, that is very unfair.